Mr. Speaker, time and time again throughout this debate, I've seen Labour MPs stand up showing that they do not understand what the rules are or what this is about. This is not about whether or not, this is not about the specific statements, this is about whether or not we should have a referral to the Privileges Committee. They are moving the goalposts because they don't want to answer that simple question. And they've come up with all sorts of excuses. It is not an excuse to say that there is a war on. The Prime Minister has said repeatedly that we are not in this war. He can't have it both ways. At every turn, he has tried to deny this House full transparency over this appointment. We had a vote in the House for documents to be released, and yet we discover that documents are not being released. That is a contempt of this Parliament. Labour MPs supported that humble address because they knew that we needed to see the truth. Documents from that release show due process was not followed. The ISC is complaining that the documents are being delayed. We only discovered there were numerous problems with Mandelson's vetting because of a leak to The Guardian. The truth is being covered up. Today's vote is about whether they want to be complicit in this cover-up. If they vote against that investigation by the Privileges Committee, they are in this together. This motion is supported across the House, Mr. Speaker, including by Labour MPs, which is why they have to be whipped to vote against it. The member for Hull East was tweeting, saying that he was making a referral to privileges last week before he deleted that tweet. This week, he is calling it a stunt. Why? Who's twisting his arm? Why was it not a stunt last week when he was doing it, but it's a stunt this week when everybody else is doing it? Why? For those who are mindlessly repeating the lines the Labour whips have given them, may I remind them that it is also their job to hold the government to account and uphold the standards of our democracy. Appointing a known national security risk to be ambassador to the United States is a profound failure of government. Do they not think that it is important the Prime Ministers tell the truth on a matter of national security? Or do they think that this is an internal Labour Party matter that they can fix themselves? And for those people who believe that Andy Burnham is coming to rescue them, can I just say that if they vote against this investigation, there will be so much contempt for Labour that there is no by-election on this planet that Andy Burnham will be able to win. This is not an internal Labour Party matter, Mr. Speaker. Do they believe that when something is wrong, we should look into it? This is about whether they believe that Prime Ministers should not destroy the careers of civil servants to cover up for their own failures. I know it is very difficult for Labour MPs to walk through the lobby with other parties. But let me be clear what they are saying if they vote against this motion. Would they rather be on the side of Peter Mandelson, of convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, of Morgan McSweeney and Matthew Doyle, on the side of the man who sacked Sir Chris Wormald, sacked Sir Ollie Robbins, Sue Gray? Is that what they came to Parliament for? Yesterday, we read that the honourable member for Stoke-on-Trent South said we should do this so she could pay off her new kitchen. Do they really want to tell their constituents that they voted against this inquiry because they are more concerned about their own personal finances than probity in public life? Because that is a shocking statement. Every MP voting on this motion today will need to examine their conscience on all sides of the House, Mr. Speaker. This is not a matter of party loyalty. It is a matter of what each and every one of us believes is right. They are being asked to defend a man who has let the country down, he has let Parliament down, and let's be honest, he has let the Labour Party down. So I say to Labour MPs today, you can defend the Prime Minister today, and there are enough of you to get through the vote, but you will be complicit in a shameful abandoning of promises made to the electorate, promises every Labour MP stood on. It is up to them what kind of MP they choose to be. They can choose to live up to their promises on standards to ensure proper scrutiny takes place and allow the Privileges Committee to get to the bottom of this, or they can choose to put party before country. Their vote will define them, and the public is watching. They say it's a stunt, then let the inquiry expose it. They say there's no evidence of misleading the House, then let the committee test it. They say the Prime Minister has nothing to hide, then they shouldn't vote to stop the Prime Minister being scrutinised. They don't have to defend this. They can still do the right thing. They can show that Parliament matters. It matters more than any party or any faction. They can vote to enhance Parliament, or they can vote and prove the worst fears of people who think there is one rule for Labour and another rule for everyone else. Mr. Speaker, I commend this motion to the House.
The question is, as on the order paper. Emma Lowell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I have watched this whole sorry saga play out for weeks now. Like the public, I feel let down, disappointed, and I am angry. Peter Mandelson should never have been appointed. This was a fundamental failure of judgment. Matthew Doyle should never have been given a peerage. This was also a failure of judgment. I feel the way that today's vote has been handled by the government smacks once again of being out of touch and disconnected from the public mood. The fact that MPs like me are being whipped into voting against this motion is, in my view, wrong, Mr. Speaker. It has played into the terrible narrative that there is something to hide, and good, decent colleagues will be accused of being complicit in a cover-up. A number of weeks ago, at a private meeting with my right honourable friend, the Prime Minister, I spoke about how, after a career of working so closely with victims of child sexual abuse, that I could not even begin to express how much it hurts me when people are screaming at me in the street that I am a member of the Pedo Protectors Party. I also said that prior to this scandal, people criticised the government's policies and at times lack of political narrative. But to me, they are now questioning the government's moral compass. My comments were leaked almost immediately by colleagues who were present. My words were then used later by the Leader of the Opposition. Recent weeks have since seen such abuse intensify and ongoing abuse and threats to mine and my staff's safety continue. Privilege motions, ISC investigations, committee hearings and process don't come up on the doorstep. What does come up time and time again is a general feeling that there is something just not right, that politicians are failing to deliver on their promises. Trust has gone and it's been replaced by anger, and the already fragile fabric of our democracy is eroding further every day this continues. This Prime Minister is very careful with his words and does have respect for the office he holds. He does want to change this country for the better, and he truly believes in public service, something which in recent years may have been sorely lacking from previous Prime Ministers. So I can't understand, Mr. Speaker, why the Prime Minister doesn't refer himself to the committee with a clear statement that he is doing so to clear his name. One quick session of the committee could surely see this matter concluded. Instead, it will now drag on and dominate every headline and interview. It will overshadow and undermine every good policy we make and continue to drag every single one of us down. Whether any Prime Minister misled the House or not is not a matter for the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, nor is it a matter for the Intelligence and Security Committee. It is a matter for privileges. That's why such a committee exists. It may be that opposition parties are using this motion today to box Labour MPs in, but I'm not angry about that. That's politics. Some of us here would do the same. But I know one thing for certain today, Mr. Speaker, that I will not be voting against this motion, but I want to listen carefully to the rest of this debate, because like everyone, when I came to this House, I wanted to do the right thing, and I hope I continue to do that for however long I have left in.